Oh man, in the sand.
Better open up that wedge.
Oh, wow. Like that, huh?
Yeah.
We see so many people that get into the sand and the ball's slightly buried, and the first thing that comes to their mind is, I better open up this wedge. The question is, why are you opening up the wedge? Is it to hit it high? Is it to get it through the sand? Or are you just doing it because you're parroting everything that you've heard and you're just repeating it? Why do you open up the club in the sand? Well, you don't have to. You can. I'm not saying it's wrong. It works, obviously. But does it work for you? What's your consistency? Many golfers talk about the bounce of the club. So what is bounce? Bounce is the degree difference between the leading edge of the club, right where the club hits the ground, the leading edge, and the trailing edge, or whatever the highest point there. Now, I'm not an equipment expert, but this is my layman's terms of what bounce is and how I can make it easier for you to understand. If you hold the shaft straight up and down, you will see that more towards the trailing edge, the back of this sole right here, is going to be higher than the leading edge. Why? So that when the club comes down, it hits that bottom edge and slides. If it hit the leading edge first, it's going to dig like a shovel. So Gene Sarazen, back in the, I think, 1920s at the British Open, designed a wedge where it was higher in the back, so that hit first and it slides. For you to see, again, just hold it straight up and down. You can see that the back edge is going to be higher than the front, and that's your degree of bounce, or you can just look at the label where it says 10. Now, Bob Vokey, who is one of the best wedge designers ever lived, this one, his name's on this one. I heard an interview with him once that he said the problem that many people are having is they're opening up their wedges in the sand. He said, and what we're doing is we're building so much bounce onto the club now, when they open up the clubs, it makes it even harder. Now I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that's what I got out of his communication. So if I have 10 degrees of bounce, this 10-degree angle like this, and now I open the club, what have I done? I've raised the leading edge and lowered the trailing edge, thus increasing the bounce. So now from 10 degrees, which is a lot already, every degree I open it here, it's adding here. So now if I open it like this to get it out, what have I done? I'm not an engineer, but that could be 50 degrees of bounce. Good luck, because when you do that, as you come into a ball with a lot of bounce, the problem is you took away dig, and you need a little dig to get underneath the ball. But many people who open it, they come in, they hit the sand the proper 2 inches behind, or whatever the exact place it needs to be, what people say, but it hits there, and what does it do? Well, it's called bounce. The club hits the ground, bounces up, and hits the top of the ball, and the ball rolls up to here, and it rolls right to your feet, and you say, I hate the sand. So, do you need to open the club? No, the best players do, but you got to understand, they've been doing it every day since they're this big. I'm not saying that you should close the club. I am not saying that. But even with this buried lie, I can put even more sand on it like that, and then I'll hit it this way so that you can see me on. I'll hit it right off that toe. How much open is that? And I got it up. And just to let you know, this is 2.5, 3 feet incline, and it came to here. So I hit the ball off of this sand with a club face that's not even closed. I hit it 5 feet in elevation in about 5 feet distance, and the club wasn't open. This is Mark Solomon with Golf Made Simple, saying, stop parroting everything that you've heard. It doesn't mean it's right. Saying thank you. I look forward to seeing you next week.